Hello and welcome to this PHP course. Today we will learn PHP in a very simple way. As you can see, what we have here is just a normal desktop. We will start from the beginning. This course is suitable for anyone, even if they don't have a previous knowledge in programming. So let's do it. Okay, so what we have here is just a normal desktop. We are starting from the beginning. The first thing we need to do is to create the file which we will write our codes on. So just open with the right click and then you click on new text document and we can call it test. Let's call it test. Now there is a little problem that if you open the properties of this file, you will see that is .txt, a text file. What we need to do is to convert it .php so we can write our PHP codes. So the way to do this is just open it as normal and then file, save as, and then you call it the same thing, test, and then you add the extension .php, but you have to include the quotation marks in the beginning and in the end. This way, when you click on save, it will save it, but with a new extension. We choose the same destination, the desktop, and then we click on save, and that's it. If we go to the desktop, we will see the file that we just created. Let's open the properties now, and you will see that it's .php. This is what we need to start writing our PHP codes. So let's remove this old one here, which was .txt. We don't need it anymore, and then we empty the recycle bin so the desktop looks nice. So let's get started in writing our PHP codes. We are keeping everything simple and easy. All the codes that you write in PHP, they have to start with this symbol and they have to end with this symbol here. I know they look funny, but this is how everything needs to start and finish. Everything that you write has to be in between them, so the web browser will know that this is all PHP. So today we will learn the first lesson of PHP. Something is called print. Print does not mean print with a printer. It means show something. I know it sounds the same, but it's not. So print, and then you open a quotation mark and you write whatever you want to say, like hello, how are you? And then you end the quotation mark and then you add this symbol here. This symbol is very important in PHP. Every line in PHP has to end with this symbol here. So that's it. Today we learned something called print. What does this do? This will show us anything that we put between the quotation marks. Hello, how are you? So we just save the file and then we upload this file to our website. We save the file, now we upload it to our website. The website name today is zorten.com. So you type zorten.com and then we type test.php. This is the file that we just uploaded, and then you hit enter. Hello, how are you? We start zooming in. Hello, how are you? So this PHP code printed hello, how are you, as we asked it to do. There is also something called echo. Echo does the same thing as print. So echo and print are the same. Just to prove it, I'm gonna save it and then upload it and then refresh it on the website. As you can see, still the same. Print and echo, they are same command, almost. Okay, so now that we can see the big font, hello, how are you? Let's play a little bit more to learn some more PHP. What if we put another line the same like this? Just copy paste it, okay? And we can call this one print. I mean, they're both almost the same, but yeah, let's change a little bit. So we got echo here and we got print here. And let's save it and upload it. So now we will see both of them, but without any space between them. It will look a little bit messy. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? If we want to add just a little bit of HTML, you can put something called BR. This is the symbol of BR. What this does is it makes it jump one line. So now if we write it just like that, BR, and we save it, if we refresh the page, there will be a big problem here. There is an error, parse error, unexpected, you see? So we have to add another print or echo, another command obviously. So we just say the same, print br, and then you end it with this symbol. So now this should jump one line below, and there will not be any problems because we added the print. Refresh it. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? This BR, we can add many BR as we want. BR. I've added too many. Just save it. So I'm just playing with the code so you get an idea. BR is not PHP, it's like HTML, but you have to write it in a PHP command so it does not show you an error. Can you see how many lines we've jumped? Because we added like many of them. So today in PHP we learned echo, we learned print, we learned some things in PHP. We will continue getting deeper into PHP while still keeping it simple. I recommend that you watch the whole tutorial, you watch all the lessons. It will benefit you a lot in the future. By the end of these lessons, you will be able to program using PHP. So if you cannot find the list of lessons in this page, perhaps you can find the link for the full course. Thank you for watching today's lesson, and I will see you next time. Hello guys, welcome back. Today we will learn something in PHP which is very important. We will learn something called a string. Without the string, you cannot program in PHP. It is very important. Obviously, we are still keeping it simple. So let's start. So what is a string? In an easy description, a string is anything which has a $sign in front of it. So just write a $sign here, and then you can call the string whatever you like. We can even call it a string. As you can see, this is a string. So we can give this string a value. So the string equals, open the quotation marks, and then you give it any value. We can say a banana. Close the quotation marks, and then end it with this symbol that we always end it with, as we talked in the last time. As we said, we can call this string whatever we like. We can even call it a fruit. So this string, which is a fruit, equals a banana. So what we can do now, just use the print, which we learned in the previous lesson. Just tell the PHP code in a very easy way. Print, open the quotation marks, and then copy this string. It is easier to copy than write it each time. Just copy, paste it here. Close the quotation marks, and then again end it with this symbol as usual. So that's it. We said that the string fruit equals a banana, and then we said print this string. That's it. Notice that the spaces here, as you can see, does not matter. Doesn't even make a difference, but I like to keep it nice looking and tidy. So just remove all these spaces, and then you click on save, upload it on the website. Just upload the file on the website, and just click refresh, and that's it. As you can see, a banana, because we gave it value a banana. If we change the value to anything, orange, so the value of the string now is an orange. Just save it, upload it, and then click refresh. You will see the value has become an orange. So this is a string. A string is very important. You can call it whenever you like. So if we call it a V, and I'm choosing a V, I will tell you why. Notice if you open any YouTube video, if you go to YouTube, just open any video, you will see on the web browser on top, there is a V equal, and then there is a code. This is the video code. So YouTube simply grabs the string value from the web browser itself. This is what we will learn next lesson, guys. How do we grab the value of a string from the web browser? It is very useful in PHP programming, grabbing the value from the web browser itself, from the address. This is the string that we learned today. The string is simply something which has a $sign in front of it, and you can call it whatever you like. You give it a value, and then you do with it whatever you like, which are the coming lessons. I'll see you next time. Hello and welcome back. Today we will continue our PHP lessons. We have something which is very important today. Don't let what you see scare you. It is very simple, guys. We're always keeping it simple. As you know, in the previous video, we talked about the string, okay? And we called the string whatever we like, but we called it a V. So we talked that we can get the value of the string from the web browser itself, from the address, from the URL. How can we do that? This is what we will learn today. So we have the string V, and then equals, and then get. Get means get the value of the string from the web address. And then you put the V here. Whatever is going to be on the web address, you put it here. You can call it whatever you like. I mean, I'm keeping it simple, but we can call it OK. So now what we can do is just say print the string V, and then close the quotation marks, and then end it with this symbol as usual. And let's save it and upload it on our website and see what happens. Okay, here it's uploading. Now we go to the web page. If we click refresh, it doesn't give us anything. Why? Because the V is trying to get the value from the address itself, but it does not see anything. That's where we come in. So to give something a value from the web address, you have to include a question mark. This separates the address from the things that we're gonna do right now, from the values. And then, okay, you see, can you see what's going on? Okay, equals banana. Now if I hit enter, we will see a banana written here. Why? Because we said that OK equals a banana. Click enter, banana. Let me explain in a simple way. The string V is getting the value from the address, from the word OK. If you want simplicity, we can call the OK, we can change it. I mean, I just called it anything. We can change it to V as well, okay? So the string V is equal to the V, which is what YouTube does. As you can see, YouTube gets the value of the string from the letter V. So just save it as usual. Upload it. Now if you click refresh, nothing will happen because there is no V here. We still have the OK. Just change the OK now. Just say V equals to a banana. As you can see now, the thing is getting its value from the address. So now anything we change here, we write it here, hello, it will show down here, as you can see. So now the string is getting its value from the web address, and this is very important in PHP programming. You will use this like thousands of times. I'm giving you an idea of everything now. So what about if you want to include more strings? You separate the information with this symbol, which is the AND symbol, as you can see. This thing separates. So now you can say U equal apple. Okay, so now we said V equals hello, and this separates the two values, and U equals apple, and you can add as much as you want, and X equal banana, and so notice that we are giving a lot of values here, and we are separating the information with this AND symbol, okay? So now we have V equal hello, U equals apple, X equals banana. So we come back to our code. To keep it simple, just copy paste. So we say the U equals, get the value of the U from the web address, and then just copy paste the same. It makes it easier, and change U. What else do we have? We have an X as well. So we copy paste the same code, and then you say the string X equals, get the X from the web address, print the string X. You see, I'm just changing everything easy. Save this. So now we should have a hello apple and a banana, because we are printing each string. We can leave some spaces to look nice. Just put a space here, put a space here, put a space here, so the words are not next to each other. Save this code. So now if I hit enter, we have the three values of the strings on the web address, hit enter. As you can see, they are all printing perfectly. The information is coming from the web address itself. As you can see, YouTube is using the same method. If you take a look at the web address on any YouTube video, you will see the question mark that we talked about. And then V equals, and then there is a code. This is the video code. That's how YouTube knows what video to show, what comments to show, what related videos. So everything is done with this code. If we remove one letter, let's remove the last W here, just remove it, and then hit enter, everything will go wrong. There is nothing. No video. All the information is grabbed from this web address. And this is what we learned today. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. This is very important, the get information, and we will continue in the next lesson. See you later. Hello, today we will learn something very important in PHP, which is called if. You will use the if equation thousands of times. If you are programming in PHP, it is very important. So how do you write an if equation and what is it for? Let's start. This is the place that we write our codes every time. So we just type if, okay, we open brackets, and then we add a condition. If something, then do something. Let's say, for example, you have a website which sells clothes. So when people sign up on your website, they can choose if they are males or females. So you do a PHP code, and then you say, if the user is a male, show all the male clothes. So let's do it. First, we start with a string, and we call it clothes, okay? We give it a value equal open quotation marks, male, close the quotation marks, and then end it with this symbol here. So now we said that the clothes string is equal to male. Obviously, we talked about strings in the previous lessons. You can go back and check them out. So now we come down to the if equation. If, open bracket, and then just copy the string. If the string close equals, and then you put two equal signs, that means like exact match, okay? So if the string close equals open quotation marks, male, close the quotation marks, and then you close the bracket, okay? If close equal male, and then you have to end it with this symbol here. Can you see? So this is the condition. If close equal male, what happens in this case? You will specify what to do in this case. There are many commands that you can do. We can keep it simple and just say print, open quotation marks, yes, the clothes are for males. Close the quotation mark, end it with this symbol as usual, and then you have to end the if equation with this funny bracket here, as you can see. So this one is up here and this one is down here, and that's an if equation. It's very simple. We are always keeping it simple in these tutorials. So that's it. If the string close equals male, in this case you have to print this thing. Let's just save it now and we upload it on the website and see what happens. So now we open the file name test.php on the website, hit enter. As you can see, this is what happens. Yes, the clothes are for males. Because the if equation took place, it's true. So let's say that the string was not male, okay? Let's say it was a female. In this case, the if equation will not take place. So this should show us nothing at all. Save it, upload it on the website. And then if we hit refresh, we will see nothing. That's it. We can see nothing because the if equation did not take place. Now let's go back to the male as we started in the beginning. There is something called else. You can add it here. So what does this mean? If clothes are male, do this, okay? Else, otherwise, it means like otherwise, do something else, and you can specify whatever you like. So just say print, open quotation marks, no, the clothes are for females. Close the quotation marks and end it with this symbol. As you can see now, if the string close equals male, do this. Else, do this. So as we can see now, the string equals male, so this will take place. Let's upload to our website. So now when I hit refresh, as you can see, yes, the close are for males. The code on PHP reads from the top to the bottom. So it checked first that the string close, is it equal to male, and then this one took place. So what if we changed it? The close became female, okay, or anything else, just write whatever. So since that we said else, which means otherwise, print this, it will show us the second option, which is no, the clothes are for females. Check this out. No, the clothes are for females. There is something also called else if. You can add it to this equation. So else is the last option. So let's copy this part, okay, and then put it here, and we can say else if, which is also useful. So you say if clothes are male, do this. Else if clothes are female, and then you say another option, do this. So the PHP code will start checking from the top to the bottom. So you can specify. You can actually add as many else if as you like. So you can say else if once more, and you can keep adding else if thousands of times, as you can see. So the code keeps checking from the top to the bottom. The final one has to be else, or just remove it at all. You can do like this. Else if, else if, else if. Else, you can add it at the end. It means that if none of these things are true, or if none of them occur, in this case, do something, which is the final thing. And that's the if equation. You will use it thousands of times if you are programming in PHP. I hope you like this lesson. I will see you in the next lesson. Hello guys, today we have an amazing lesson in PHP. We will continue our lessons. Don't get surprised of what you see here. It's very simple. I will explain what's going on. Let me just increase the font size so we can see it more clearly. Okay, so today is a new lesson of PHP. It is very useful. We will start doing some actions now. Let's get things started. So what you can see here, guys, is very simple. It's just a submit form. You know, when you go to any website, there is a username and password or email. You create your account. So this is what this is. It's basically HTML, and I will show you how it looks like. So let's upload this thing on our website and see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like, username and email, two simple fields. As you can see, this is how the field looks like, and this is the other field. You can change the size of the field. You can make this 25. All these stuff are HTML, okay? So what you see now is basically HTML inside a PHP format. Now, it is very important to know there are two types of methods. One of them is post and the other one is get. The difference between post and get, if you use get, all the data that the user inserts will be visible in the web browser address on top. However, if you use the post, the data that the user will insert will not be visible. That's the only difference between them, and you will know what I mean. Let's stick back to get. So the action here, we can change it as well. So this means, what is the next page? Test.php. This is the same file, obviously. So when the user clicks on the go button, he will be taken to the same page. Alright, so now let's use what we have learned. As we mentioned, when we use get, all the data will be available in the web browser address, okay? So we can use the thing that we learned in the previous lessons, which is get the value from a web address. Okay, so this is the one that we learned previously in the previous lessons, if you remember. We can call the string whatever we like. We can call it the username. You can call it whatever you like. So I chose the username. And now, as you can see, that's where the user will input his details. So the name is username. So we just copy this and then put it here. When they click on the submit button or the go button, this username will appear in the web browser on top. So we will grab it and we will store it in this string value. And then we can simply say print the username, which is the string, the username, end it with this symbol here. And that's about it. You can add some BR
As you know, BR just jumps one line to the bottom, so we can add 2 BR just to make it look clean. So now what we have here is a form which looks like this. So I just zoomed in to make it look more clear. So this part here, which is the simple part, it's what you see here. The user will come and they will insert their username here, and they will insert their email here as well. Since that we don't want the email at the moment, we're just playing with the username, okay? So now when they click the go button here, the same page will load because we have specified this page. So when this loads, the string, the username, will grab its value from the top browser, which is the username here. And then afterwards, it will print it. So let's see if this simple code is actually working. This is it. I just inserted the name Marius and the email marius@gmail.com. Check this out. Go. There we go. The string showed up. And do you remember when I told you that if you use get here, everything will appear in the web browser address? And this is what's happening. Can you see the name Marius showing up here? And that's how the string got its value from the web address here. So everything that you type in this field, for example, you can type George, anything that you type here, when you click go, it will show up here, because everything is becoming functional now. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, go. There we go. George showed up. This is a simple code. Can we use an if equation in here? We can use if, guys. Let's say that we want every time when a user clicks on the go button, we don't want this to appear anymore. Can you see all this bit? We just want the George. So now we can use an if equation as well. Check this out. We are using everything that we learned. It's amazing, isn't it? Okay, let's remove some of the spaces so everything is visible on our screen. Don't let this bulky view scare you, okay? I just removed all the spaces. And so where can we use an if equation? Check this out. If, let's go, open a bracket. If the string, the username, is not equal, when you put this exclamation mark before the equal sign, it means the opposite of equal. So when this username is not equal to empty, close the bracket. Actually, we can remove these little, let's use the quotation marks, which we know. Open this funny bracket. So if this string, the username, is not equal to nothing, because I did not put anything in here, in this case, print the username. Let's remove these BRs. We don't need them anymore because there won't be this part at the bottom. So if this string username is not equal to empty, which means it has a value, print the string. Else, otherwise, print this form here. That's where the user submits his details. We can actually remove the email. We don't need it anymore because we are only using the username anyway. And then we have to end it with this symbol here. And that's an if equation. Now what we have is we have a form, we have the string, we have an if equation, we have many things in this simple code. Let's save it and see what happens. Save, upload it on our website. There is a field username. Now when we go ahead and submit a name and we click on the go button, check this out. The form disappeared and we only got the string value, which is the one that we submitted. And check this out, it is also shown in the web browser. Now if this was post and not get, post, we have to change this also get. Instead of get, we have to change it to post. The difference is that post will not show up on the web browser. It will be hidden. Let's save it and I will prove it to you. So check this out. Now we have the same thing. We will type the name Marius as usual. So now when we click on go, it will show us the value of the string, but everything will not appear up here like it did with the get method. Go. There we go. Marius appeared. And as you can see up here, there is nothing and that's the difference between get and post. You can use any of them on your website, whichever you prefer. Usually when people sign up, like they put their username, password, email, you will use post method. You will not use the get, because you don't want everything to be shown in the top of the browser. The only thing that is remaining is to add data in the database. So now we can add the name Marius, or whatever name, we can add it and store it in my SQL database, guys. And this is the next lesson in PHP, how to store the data in the database and be able to retrieve it back. And then you have almost a functioning website. I mean, you have a sign up, you have a get the strings, get many things, print, if equation, get the data of the user. You have many things going on. I will see you in the next lesson. Take care. Hello, today we have a new lesson in PHP. Our lesson today is very important as usual. Don't feel worried about what you see on the screen. It is very simple. Let me explain. This is the form that we used last time. We haven't done anything. And this is the post method that we talked about last time. This is the file destination. So now every time someone clicks on the go button, they will be taken to the same page. Let's stick on the get method. Let's say you open a website in PHP. You want to store the user details in a database. So the visitors who come to your website, they can insert their username as we have here, or they can insert their email and so on. So that's where the database comes in. You will take the details of the user and store them in a database. And this is what you see here. First, you connect to the database, and then you insert the details in the database. It's very simple. I will explain everything right now. First, let's upload this and see how it looks like, which is the file name test.php. And this is how it looks like, guys. All these error messages that you see is because I'm not using the username and password to connect to the database. So when you start a hosting plan with someone, with any company, if you start a hosting plan, you will probably get a MySQL database. I think it's one of the most popular. That's where you will store all your data. So when they give you the database, you can connect to it. As you can see here, MySQL connect. Obviously, all these codes you can grab from the internet. I'm giving you the idea, and everything is available on the internet anyway. Even the form itself. So first thing, this is the code. You connect to the database and you put the username, password, you just insert them here, and this will be the database name, and that's it. You are connected to the database. And then this is how you insert the details that the user submits. So by using this form, the user will submit his username. The user will write their names here, Marius, for example. And then when they click the go button, since that we specified the destination to be the same page, the page will reload. In this case, that's what's gonna happen. So since we use the if function, we can use the if function here. It's very simple. Just say if, open bracket. So we need the username string. Just put the $sign, username, close the bracket, and then add this symbol. Even if you leave it as it is, this means that if the username string is not empty, you can leave it as it is, or you can do the one that we done last time, which is this. If the username string is not empty, okay, this is the quotation marks, but the single one, the one line. So if the username is not empty, and then do all these codes and then close it with this symbol here. So all these codes will not take place unless the if function checks that the username is not actually empty, and this happens after the user submits their username. So if the visitor to your website does not click the go button, this will not take place at all. You can even add here an email. Just copy paste. Copy and pasting is very important for programmers. So name this email, copy paste this one, and name it email. Let's save it so you see how it looks like. Now you have two fields, and because we added the if function, if equation, all this disappeared, all the error messages, because now it's not even doing anything. As soon as the user inserts their details, Marius, and their email, marius@gmail.com, this is just a random email I'm using. So as soon as the user inserts both of these details and they click on the go button, now the if function will take place. As you can see, nothing happened. Do you know why? We forgot something which we talked about in the previous lessons. Something very important. How does the string grab the value from top here? We need the get function. Check this out. Before the if function, as you can see. And this one we call it username. And this one will be also username. So the string username will get the value from the web address. And this if function will start working as normal. Also, we need to do the same for the email. So we change the second one to email. And this one we change it to email as well. Email. Let's remove this space. We're trying to squeeze everything now. As you can see, we are getting deeper into PHP. So now we are okay. The username string will get the value. The email string will get the value. This if equation, we can even add a second part to it and say and. This and here adds two conditions instead of one condition. This and can also be or, and the meaning is the same as it sounds. So we keep it as and. If the username string is not empty and the email string is also not empty, this is where the if function will take place. So this and means that both username and email must not be empty in order for all this code to start taking place. So obviously if we change this and to or, this means that the username must not be empty or the email must not be empty, one of the two. And now when we save this form, this time it should work normally. Okay, I zoomed in to make it look more clear. We add the username Marius, we add the email marius@gmail.com. Now we have both of them. Now if you click go, everything should work fine. Click on go. That's where we get the error messages. We are happy to see the error messages. This means that our code is working, even though we are getting the error messages. But as you can see, the email is showing up here. The username is showing up here. We are grabbing both values. And then we are inserting the data into the database. So since we are using two fields, one of them is called username and the other one is called email. So insert into, and then this will be your table name. Every table has a name. So we will call this table a user. And then we say user underscore name. Let's change the name to username just to keep everything the same. So you have one row on the table which is called user username. And the other one we will call it user email. Email. So now we have two rows on the table, and that's where we will store the first values of the user. And the string name is not actually name, it's username. So now we have a query which says insert into, and this is the table name which is user. You can call the table whatever you like. When you log in into your hosting package, into your MySQL package, and then you can create a table whatever you like to call it. In this case I called it user. So the first row in the table will be user underscore username, and the second row will be user underscore email, and the values will be the string values which we have here, username and email, both of them showing up here. Now everything has to be in order. So this is the first one, this will be the first one, this is the second one, this will be the second one, and so on. And then you add this line here. Everything is available on the internet. When you start learning programming, you won't sit down and write everything with your own fingers on the keyboard. You will just copy paste all the time. You will use copy paste millions of times. All these things you grab from the internet, or you can grab them from a previous code that you wrote. So now that's what we have here. It's very simple. Today we learned that a form, if you build a website, you will create a form. That's where the visitors to your website will be able to insert their username and their email, for example. And then you create an if function, very simple. Every time the visitor clicks on the go button, all the data will be stored in the database. And that's when the user can come back to the website and find all the details and so on. Today we learned how to store data in the database. In the next lesson, we will learn how to grab the data from the database. The database will be given when you start a hosting package with someone, and I will see you in the next lesson. Hello and welcome back to today's lesson. It is very important, as usual. In the previous lesson, we talked about storing the data into a database. In this lesson, we will talk about grabbing the data from the database. I don't want you to look at this code and get scared. It is very easy, and I will explain to you. Probably when you sign up with a hosting company, whatever company you choose, they will give you MySQL database. I think is the most famous database. And that's where you will start creating your tables, and you will choose all the names. For example, you can create a table called user, and that's what we are using here. As you can see, we always using user because our table name it's user. As you can see here, this is a PHP MyAdmin. It's a tool that will allow you to edit your database. You will get it when you start your hosting plan with the company. So anyway, this is the table name. It's called user. And check this out. I like to add the user as well in every row name. I like to start with the user and then underscore. And then I name everything else. And I recommend that you use cPanel. I personally love cPanel. It contains all these things. It contains MySQL databases. It contains this PHP MyAdmin. So you can sign up with a hosting company which use the cPanel. It's amazing. So as you can see, this is a PHP MyAdmin. It's a tool that you will use to edit your database. Everything will come with the hosting package when you sign up with a hosting company. Anyway, if we start talking about PHP MyAdmin and about MySQL and cPanel and so on in details, it will take us ages. Notice that there is a user ID up here. This one is a unique number which is different for every row. So every user you will add on your database, they will have a unique ID. And this number here means how many characters. This integer, which means a number, this integer has 11 numbers. So that means billions. Okay, this user ID will never run out unless you have a multi-trillion website. So now we can retrieve data from this table. So this is the code that you get the data from the database. Let's see. Select from. Notice that this symbol here means all. So this is like telling the code select all from user. User is the table name. Whatever your table name is, it will be here. Where means where this condition happens, where username, which is this one here, or we need to add this username. This means that this row username, which is this one here, must equal, and then you add whatever you like. Must equal Marius, must equal, it can be a string, user ID, any string that you want. And here is the limit, which means how many results do you want this thing to show you. So you can add any number that you like. You can even add thousands, but we're keeping it simple, 5. If you remove the limit, you can remove it at all. So this is how it looks. You can remove the condition as well, which is where username equals, and you can remove all this. You can just say select all from user, and that's it. All these things are available from the internet, guys. By the way, you should know that a programmer never sits down and writes all the codes by hand from the beginning. Usually it's just copy paste, or just copying from a previous code that you wrote. Now this part here is basically HTML, but I added the print. We cannot just write HTML in a PHP code, so you have to start it with print or echo or so on. And this is the link destination. These all are HTML stuff. If you put here self, it means the link will open in the same page. If you use blank, it means it will open a new page. All these things are HTML. You can call this whatever you like. In this case, I called it open user ID 1. As I told you that each visitor you store the details, they will have a unique user ID which contains all their information, their email, their username, and so on. So yeah, when you say open user ID 1, it means that show the user ID 1. Even here you can say where user ID equals 1. We will get an error message. The only reason is because I'm not connecting to the database. When you connect to the database using your own username and password, it will be fine. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Open user ID. Now we can remove the limit because only one user ID equals 1. As I told you, each user ID is different than the other one. And that's it. That's how you grab the details from the database. There are many ways to do it, but this is one of them. So the username string equals row. This is the same as you can see here. This one has to be the same as this one. And this is the row name, which is on the table. Yeah, this is the row name here. And just say print the string username. Add it here and then close the quotation marks. So that's it. First it grabs it from the database and then it prints it. And you can also print the email as well. Just copy paste and add it here. So now when we save this and we upload it, if we are connected to the database, this should show us the username and the email of the person who has the user ID 1. It will show us both of them if we are connected. In your case, you will be connected. So in this link here, we can do something nice. Instead of saying user ID equals to 1, we can add a string here, link ID. Okay, so this is a new string. We just named it link ID. And then we come to the link here and we say the destination of the link. Check this out. Test.php, and then we add the question mark to separate the URL from the information. And then we say link ID equals to 1. And obviously we must write the little code that grabs the data from the web address, which we talked about thousands of times, which is this one here. It is the get code. Just change the S into link ID and here link ID and just save it. And now we upload it. Check this out. If I click this link, as you can see down here in the web browser, it is showing you where it is taking us. It is taking us at zorten.com/test.php, and then there is a question mark, link ID equals 1. So if I go ahead and click on it, now as you can see the address changed and the link ID equals 1. So when the link ID equals 1, this means that this code here, it will grab all the details of the user whose user ID equals to 1. Everything will start working because we are using the correct code. And this is how you get the user from your database. So if this one was not link ID, if this one was, for example, link gender, maybe you search for the male or female, link gender was male. So in this case, you hit enter. You can specify here that where user gender. Obviously, you will have a new row on your table, which is called user gender, and each user can specify what are they male or female. So when you use the user gender here, that's it. If this one was male, this code will grab all the users from the database, from the table, which have the user gender male, and you can specify how many limits do you want. Limit, then you can say 10, and don't forget to add the symbol here. And that's it. All the data will show. Obviously, you should add a BR here, so when the data shows, they should be below each other in a tidy way. And that's it. You added a BR. So now this will print a username and then will print email, and it will move on. It will keep printing until limit 10 have reached. And it will look something like this. As you can see on the screen, it will look something, the results will look something like this, each one below each other, because we have added a BR here. And this while here means repeat the result, keep repeating until it reaches the limit 10. So this is PHP, guys. We learned many things. We learned the strings. We learned how to store data in the database, how to grab users who come to your website. You can store the details. Each one has a unique ID. All the tables you can create in your MySQL database when you sign up with a hosting company. You can call the table whatever you like. You can create the fields whatever you like. You can even create the table using PHP codes, but I like to sign in into PHP My Admin and create the table manually. It's only one time and then everything will be added into the table using a PHP code. You learn the basics. Obviously now you have a general idea about PHP. You can go ahead and start discovering things on your own. You can discover new commands in PHP. The purpose of this course was to give you a general knowledge about PHP. We learned many things in PHP. From now on, when you look at a PHP code, you will not get shocked or surprised. You will know what's going on. You just Google it and you will find the code ready for you. You will just take it into your editing file and start playing with it, changing things. All the commands in PHP are available on the internet. There are some things which cannot be done in PHP. You will learn about these things as time goes by experience. For example, you cannot print a quotation mark. You can write here hello, quotation mark, hello, and then close the quotation mark and then end it with this symbol as usual. Notice that there is a quotation mark in the middle. This is not possible. You will get an error. You have to add a slash in front of it like this. This disables it. And there are many things you will learn as time goes by. There are many commands in PHP like string replace. You can replace the letter in a string, change it to another letter, and all these things. I hope this course helped you in a way. You can practice a couple of days more and everything will start going smoothly. I try to keep everything as simple as I can. Now, by the end of this tutorial, guys, you will start writing PHP codes. You will love it if you like this type of field. I don't like to ask someone to build a website for me. I like to know about programming myself, because I keep changing things all the time. I don't want to tell the guy, please change the things for me. It's very difficult. So it's good that you are learning PHP. Thank you. See you later.